crashes make the rich richer. So if you want to get rich quick, I like the crashes. It comes down so fast. So when people say, how do I change my life? Well, you change those words. I wouldn't go to school because you learn nothing about money in school. I wouldn't get a job because if I have a job, I'm an employee. And then I'd pay taxes. And I don't pay taxes. And I don't save money. And I use debt to get rich. And I don't invest in the stock market. That's why I'm rich. And so the young people who are listening right now, they're saying, but that's what my mom and dad said. But that's what mom and dad say all over the world. So to the young people, I just say challenge or question what you've been taught. Because from the Bible, I'm not religious, the word becomes flesh. So if you say, go to school, they say, but I learned nothing about money. Get a job, you become an employee.
Yeah.
If you're an employee, you work for money. I pay taxes. Then they tell you to save money. Why would you save money when the government's printing money? You know, and get out of debt. Well, debt is money. I use debt to get rich. Most people use debt to get poor and invest in the stock market. I don't invest in the stock market. So when you wonder why so many people struggle financially, because they haven't challenged the hypnosis, the words, go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, get paid taxes. Until you question those hypnotic trances, you don't change. So when I was a little boy, I had poor dad and rich dad, saying,
in your head.
He's saying, go to school. My rich dad goes, what a waste of time that is,
Right.
And the way my rich dad taught me is just playing Monopoly. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. I learned about money. I learned to be a capitalist, not an employee. I don't pay taxes. I use debt for money. And I don't invest in the stock market. And when I say that to adults, they get angry at me. So, well, that's what I've done. I said, well, that's why you're poor. But when I said to young people, you have a chance yet. You have a chance. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying question the hypnotic trance put in your head, because that's what keeps people poor. The economy doesn't exist out here. The economy exists in here.
Yeah.
And until you change the words become flesh. If you get a job, you're an employee. If you save money, you're a saver. And why would you save money when they're printing money? And they say, invest in the stock market for your pension. Well, why would you do that? Because that's how they get your money. And, get out of debt when guys like me are using debt as money. So question it. That's all I'm saying. That's not right or wrong. You see, most people should be employees.
Okay.
Because most people, it's easier to be an employee. Like when I flew for the Marine Corps in Vietnam, and my poor dad wanted me to become an airline pilot. He says, go fly for the airlines. And I said, no, I can do that. I could already fly.
Yeah.
Why would I fly for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
He said, but you love flying. I said, yeah, but I don't want to fly for the rest of my life. I just wanted a bigger challenge. And a bigger challenge would be to be an entrepreneur, because I'd have to learn new things. I'd have to learn 10 times more than being a pilot. So for me, it was right for me to become an entrepreneur because I was really interested in learning about money and business and economics and all this. But most employees aren't. So for most people who are employees, they should get a job, work hard, save money, pay your taxes and all that. But entrepreneurs don't pay taxes. We don't save money. We use debt as money. And everything's different. And I don't invest in the stock market. But I had to pay the price, which was get my own education, not the stuff they teach you in school. And most people come out of school, they don't even know what accounting is. They say, oh, they taught me to balance a checkbook. I'm going, big deal, You have to know assets and liabilities. You must understand taxes. The rich don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
And the rich use debt as money. So the question is, that's what I had to do when I was in my 20s. I said, how is it the rich learn to use debt as money? That's a challenge. And the brain goes,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you got it. And then how do they not pay taxes? the biggest thing for most young people is that our schools teach us to be ICs, independent contractors,
Okay.
or self-employed, or even if you're an employee, you're still an independent contractor as a job. And you do it by yourself. I think much of the young world is in the selfie world. Look at me, look at me,
Yeah.
look at me. Whereas in my world, it's a team sport. I'm a rugby player. I go on the field with a team, toughest, meanest guys I know. And so you could be the A student from Princeton, but I go on the field with 15 tough men, kick your ass. And so the average guy is coming out there, like, oh, I got an A, I went to Princeton, I went to Harvard, and the corporate America comes out and they go, boom. So that's why when I talk to young people, I say, look, it's a team sport. So the first person I have is a bookkeeper. Bookkeeper is the lowest paid person on my team, but the most important.
Right.
The bookkeeper then keeps the accurate records that my accountant can use, and my attorney can use, and my banker can use. That's the combination there. And my banker, my attorney, and my accountant must work together as a team. Most people, their bankers, accountants, and attorneys don't work together as teams, because in school we're taught to take our tests on our own. If you ask for help, you're cheating. In my world, it's called cooperation. I invest as an insider. And for the average person who knows very little, they say, well, insider trading is illegal. No, it's not. So if you can do it in stocks, you can short the thing, you can do, naked put, yeah. You can be instantly quick. But it's slow going up, but it's fast when it crashes. So right now, if I was a young person, I'd be taking probably a stock options course to trade the market coming down, because you'll get rich faster that way. It takes about 5 years to practice that. But I love crashes. I get really excited about a crash. Unfortunately, most people get wiped out. But nonetheless, the facts are crashes make the rich richer. That's why fake is fight fake with facts.
Yeah.
So if you want to get rich quick, so when the Titanic is going down, you can sell lifeboats.
That's a great analogy. And what do you think, about your general purpose? And we're going to wrap up here in a couple of minutes. But about your general purpose, I'm really, really curious, because most people think, again, I'm trying to think from the perspective of the stereotype, of the conditioning, let's say. And most people think, well, if I'm as rich as Robert, why would I spend time doing all these things? Even so, why would I spend time educating people? And even so, why would I even work anymore? Because if I have enough money in my head, I'm done. I need to get a vacation in Hawaii, which is exactly the reason that they don't do that. But what drives you to keep doing what you're doing? And what's your purpose going forward? Because you don't have to do any of this. And I think it's important for people to grasp that.
Very smart young man.
Yeah. Well, I thank you.
No, you're very intuitive. It's that I don't need the money. That's the reason I do it, I retired at 47. I had more than enough money. And people kept asking my wife, and I said, how'd you guys, she was 37. She didn't marry me for money, because I didn't have money when we started.
Yeah.
I lost the business just before I met her. And we just made it back. So anyway, they kept asking us, how'd you guys do it? So, do you have a job? No. Do you have a retirement plan? No. Did you save money? No. So they kept asking us, and we created the cash flow game so they could understand income statements, balance sheets, statements of cash flow.
Which highly recommended. I took that.
Yeah, the cash flow game is how you can have fun learning about the most boring subject called accounting. And you have fun. It's like playing Monopoly. But what makes rich cash flow different than Monopoly is a financial statement.
Yeah.
Because your banker only wants to see your financial statement. Banker doesn't want your grades or what school you went to.
Yeah.
They want to know your financials. So when the markets crash, my financials are so strong, bankers threw money at me. They still call.
Because you're the only one that has good financial statements at that point. Well, if there's
They know I can take their debt and make money from debt. The average person will take debt and lose money. So cash flow, the game, and your rich dad, poor dad, you take debt and make money. The average person takes debt and loses money. So they don't want to give you any more money. So that's what drives me on. So when I went to military school, I didn't go to regular school. Went to a military academy in New York. the first lesson, the first word they teach us is what's your mission? Mission, mission, mission. And mission is spiritual. So that's why when I graduated from military school, I didn't have to go fight, but I felt the need to go fight. So I joined the Marine Corps to go fight. And when I came back, my poor dad says, why don't you become an airline pilot? I said, go to school, get a job, become a pilot, because you can make a lot of money, and you'll pay a lot of taxes, and you can, like, I could hear the hypnosis coming in, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So my poor dad says, go get my master's degree, get my MBA, which I started, not a waste of time. And my rich dad said, you have to learn about debt and taxes. So I took a real estate course. And I say the same thing, take real estate courses, take stock trading courses, I take bond courses. I just learn about the game of money. It's a game.
And have some patience, right?
It takes about 5 years to get good at anything.
Okay, perfect. Because that's a good expectation for people. People think that in 3 months they'll figure it out.
No.
Perfect.
If you're going to be a stock trader, it's 5 years and $50,000 minimum. That's what it'll cost you.
Which is less than 1 year of college, usually at Harvard. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. But you have to make mistakes to learn. But our schools punish you for making mistakes. And then they also punish you for asking for help, because that's called cheating. I call it cooperation.
Yeah.
So everything is opposite from school. Entrepreneurs are not going to make good employees.
So you might as well think of your conditioning into the opposite, and you're probably better off.
Well, you got to change, go to school, get a job, save money, pay taxes.
Yeah.
The question right now is, how do I make so much money, I use debt, and I pay no taxes legally? I said, I wouldn't be saying that if I was crooked about it. But I don't have to hide because I do it legally.
And you explain how that works in this book.
Yeah, as best I can. My study has been like a lifelong study. So I don't, I'm making money as we're speaking right now. I have 7,000 real estate properties. I have oil wells. I have golf courses. I have commercial buildings. So money's just pouring in whether I work or not. But I'm still studying, because that's how the money keeps pouring in.
Yeah.
I'm watching the horizon. It's like on the ocean. It's like, where's the next storm coming?
Yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Or like in the case of the Titanic, when's the next iceberg coming?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of icebergs right now, and we're all in this one big Titanic. And the question, right now, I'd be manufacturing lifeboats.
Yeah, for a living, for sure. Yeah. So, two things, and we'll end with this. One thing, and I was really fascinated, I think you spoke about it in an interview about Jonathan Haidt's book, The Coddling of the American Mind. It's not the American mind, it's the coddling of everybody's mind, basically. Correct. And people are, my question would be, what would be your advice for people that are looking to really strengthen themselves and toughen up? Because that's, when people hear this advice, then they go out in the world, and me included, but let's say I've done some sports, you've obviously had military training and all the things that I think evolved discipline in you, I'm thinking. But what would you be your advice to toughen up? Because otherwise, any challenge that faces you, you're just going to fade and go back to safety.
Correct. Well, I think that's one of the biggest problems is that people, the word is called resilience.
Okay.
If like the greatest athlete in my time is Tiger Woods.
Well, he just won a championship again.
Yeah, but he went way up, and he came down as, his wife caught him cheating, everything, the humiliation, and especially as a black guy cheating on a white woman. I had so many women get so upset. How dare you cheat on a white woman? White cheats. That's
not a thing to do.
What difference does it make? I just crack up at people. And then his back goes out. He has surgery, and after this long down period, he comes roaring back up to the top. And if you've ever been to Augusta, the golf course where the Masters is played, that is the toughest golf course I have ever seen. I don't know how those guys play that course.
Yeah.
You have to be a mountain goat to play that course, And these guys are taking shots from down here, the green's up here. And these guys are going, so he came back. So if there's a story of resilience and determination and a comeback, it's Tiger Woods. I mean, I'm in awe of that guy. He is really a great man to come from the top to the bottom, back to the top, And we all have that in us, except in school, we told, don't make mistakes. If you fail, you're stupid. Well, he came back, he made him stronger.